reminding me. Great. So basically, InstaIV, we have trained so many people. We have developed an IoT platform in the cloud osmosis. We were ranked in 2016, 2015 as one of the most promising IoT companies. We also were funded. So we have been funded by some people, organizations based out of US earlier. We have, huge number of clients, more than 100 clients today in education business as well as in solution business. We have a very strong team, more than 100 plus years of total experience in technology, IoT, and good industrial projects we have done for several organizations. And industrial IoT is one of the key areas where we are working with some industrial companies. So moving on. So let us first do one thing. Let us try and understand IoT. Very, very quickly in 4 to 5 minutes, I'll explain IoT to you. Okay. And then we will go into what solution architect in IoT means. So just consider this air conditioner. You can see this air conditioner in the center. Just think of this air conditioner as a smart air conditioner. Okay, smart windows air conditioner. So what goes into making it a smart air conditioner? Smart is a keyword of IoT, by the way. Okay, so anything you make IoT enabled becomes smart. Okay, so what any IoT device which will become smart has is it has a unique identity. And when I say unique, it means unique on the internet. Okay, so it has to have something which is unique on the internet, which is an IP address typically. Okay, but because there are going to be so many trillions of IoT devices ultimately, so only IPv6 is the correct technology or correct naming convention. So IPv6 based identity is a unique identity which will be given to all IoT devices. And then the next thing that each and every smart IoT device will have will be basically the some sensors and some ability to communicate to the outside world. Okay, so these sensors could be like, for example, in an air conditioner, it could be the gas pressure sensor, it could be the temperature sensor, it could be the power consumption sensor, it could be the humidity sensor, it could be the condition of the blades inside the air conditioner sensor. So it could be any sort of sensor which is required by the air conditioner. Okay, but it is defined by the domain people. So the companies which are into AC manufacturing, they are the ones who will define what kind of sensors will go into a AC to make it smart. Okay, that's why I've written domain here. If you see, there's domain written here, and then there is a generic word written here. Okay, so anything, as you see this line here, dotted line in between, anything above this line is very, very domain specific. Everything below this line is very generic in nature. Okay, so we will have some sensors which will go into this AC to make it compatible or to make it IoT enabled. The sensors will be able to transmit the data using these communication device, which will typically use protocols like Bluetooth, Bluetooth low energy, and Zigbee, Z-Wave kind of low distance communication protocols to transfer the data to a gateway kind of device. Okay, or it will use Bluetooth kind of protocol to transfer the data to a mobile app. Okay, one of the two things. So this will be a gateway which could be something fixed in your home, much like Alexa from from Amazon, or you Google speaker that is there. So those are basically gateways devices. So there could be something like that, or there would be something like a mobile phone app which will be able to communicate with this air conditioner, will be able to transmit the data to something like a cloud-based system. Okay, so what is this cloud-based system? This is called a IoT platform. You must have heard the term IoT platform. So this is what IoT platform is, where this gateway kind of devices, which could be a smartphone, could be a physical hardware gateway like Alexa, which is able to communicate to this cloud-based platform using communication protocols like 2G, 3G, 4G, using simple GSM or Wi-Fi, or able to communicate using new age technologies like Sigfox, NB-IoT, LoRa, 5G. So all these words, some of them you might not be aware of, but these are some of the communication protocols which are new and being extensively used in the industry across the world. Okay, so what is this cloud-based platform? It is nothing but something like when you join an organization, whichever company you work for, a record is created for you in that organization, right? When you are born in India, for example, a birth certificate is generated for you. So you get into the system of that organization or that country, right? So everybody knows who you are, right? Similarly, when a device like a smart AC is born in a factory, let's say, a record for it is created in some cloud-based platform. so that it knows how to communicate to the outside world. Okay, so this cloud-based platform is nothing but a, you can say, a repository of all the IDs which you have given to this smart AC. Okay, and it knows that, okay, one smart AC is located in the house of, let's say, Piyush Jain, and it is going to communicate with me, right? So this is nothing but a software running on some cloud somewhere, maybe Amazon cloud, maybe Azure cloud, maybe IBM cloud, or somewhere, some software which is running, which expects data to come from smart devices, and each and every smart device sends data to it, where it knows what to do with the data. It is smart enough, this platform. It knows that, okay, if the temperature of the AC, if it is consuming 3 times the power it is supposed to consume, then there is some issue in the AC. So let me maybe, you can see this back arrow everywhere. So it can maybe communicate back to this AC and say shut down till a mechanic comes and repairs you. Or it can say, okay, this AC, there is some issue with the compressor blades. Maybe I need to inform the manufacturer so that they can, maybe plan out in next 3 months some sort of repair or maintenance of this AC. Replace this AC with a car. Same infrastructure works for a car. Same infrastructure works for any of the smart light bulbs or anything that is there in this world today. And this cloud also has this big data analytics built into it. So what happens is, like smart AC, for example, Samsung last year manufactured more than 10 million air conditioners. So many of them smart. So all these smart AC start communicating. So you need big data capabilities here, and you need analytics capabilities here to bring about the value of this data. Otherwise, what will you do with this data? What is the AC temperature, humidity? What do you do with this data? So you have to have some domain experts again working and having the ability to bring value out of it for the company or for you and me. Or for example, they should know, oh, this AC is about to conk off because of some issue. Let us send a mechanic to repair. Or the gas pressure is falling, there is some leakage happening, let us inform the owner to not run the AC, or something like that. For example, in a car, if you replace the AC with a car, the car, somebody else is sitting in the car driving, and it might be somebody trying to steal you, somebody's playing or fiddling with the locks, so this car comes to know about it, passes the data to this ERP of things platform, and it shuts down the car till the actual owner informs it via some mechanism that no, it is okay, please restart the car, or yes, there was a thief trying to steal, and good that you shut it down, right? So all this is IoT systems. This is how a typical IoT system works. And this node that you see written here, this node is basically, the smart AC becomes a node in IoT language. So a node is nothing but a smart device which has sensors, a mechanism to communicate to the outside world, and a unique identity. So a smart Philips Hue bulb is a node. A, uh, a Honda car, which is smart, is a node. A smart truck is a node. A factory machine, a lathe machine in a factory which is smart, is a node, which knows how to capture data and talk to the outside world. Another unique thing is gateway, which knows how to communicate, take data from the node, pass it to the cloud. And a cloud is nothing but a ERP of things, a smart platform, basically. And node is also called highly constrained because you need to conserve power, you need to conserve energy, you need to make it very, very cheaply so that cost of AC doesn't go up. So all those constraints are there in the node. That's why it's also called a very constrained device once it becomes a IoT device. You don't want to pay $100 for a smart bulb, right? Or you don't want to pay $2,000 for a smart AC. You still want to pay $500 only, right? So you don't want to increase the cost too much. So that's why it's called a highly constrained device, basically. Okay, so what is a solution architect? Who is a solution architect? So solution architect in IoT, as you can see, the technologies involved are huge. There is hardware involved. There is protocols, communication protocols, Zigbee, Z-Wave, 2G, 3G, 4G. Many of us don't know anything about communication protocols, right? Then there are gateways involved, smartphone apps involved. Then there is cloud-based systems involved. Then there is big data analytics involved. So there's so much plethora of technologies has to come together to make a IoT system. That's why you don't see too many IoT systems. Only large companies like Amazon, Google, Philips, some car companies have been really able to make some IoT systems till date which are successful. A lot of work is going on in the industry, but very few successful products till date because there's lack of knowledge in the people, lack of understanding in the people, and huge demand is coming out because everybody sees the value in IoT, but they're not able to build things because it's very complex to build anything in IoT. And that's where this solution architect role becomes extremely critical, where somebody has to understand the IoT concepts, ecosystem, and has to understand the technology, what goes into making an IoT system, right? and also understanding the communication protocols. Guys, before I proceed, just wanted to say that any questions you have at any point of time regarding your career, regarding technology, regarding IoT, anything, please type in the chat window. In the end, I will have a 10-minute session on IoT question and answer, 15-minute session. Okay, so we will have that. Okay, so you can just note down the questions in the chat window if you feel that you will miss it later. Okay, so you have to understand protocols, you have to understand how to design. So there's a big gap between actual business requirement and what technology can achieve today. I want to do so many things. I want to predict when my car is going to fail after 6 months. Okay, so I should know today that okay, my engine is going to fail because of this reason after 3 months, but I'm not able to do it technically. Even large companies are not able to do it still because data is not there as of now, and solutions are not there which will capture all this data and put it onto the cloud because it's complex. And that's where solution architect people who are having good experience in different technology areas, not all technologies, mind you, you need to have experience in only one or two technologies, and you have to have good business experience to become a solution architect. Okay, so practical experience of some key technologies, very critical. Managing a team of heterogeneous people from different technology areas. How many of you would have managed hardware people, for example? Very few in India, right? Most people are software background, including myself here, right? So it is requires a lot of collaboration among different technology people to bring out a solution, and that's where the IoT solution architect role, who understands maybe at a higher level, but different technology areas which need to which are required to build an IoT solution is critical. And the role in the industry for a typical IoT solution IoT solution architect is that he should understand the business needs, scope. He should be able to identify the critical system components. So now once somebody who has understanding of IoT and different roles which I explained earlier in my diagram about IoT, so he should understand, okay, in this situation this is the kind of protocol which might work. So he should not, I'm not saying that he will be able to program for that protocol. He will have people who will do it, but he should understand that okay, the long distance communication required, so these are the protocols. Small short distance communication required in these constraints, this is the kind of protocol I can use. This level of understanding is required in an IoT solution architect. Then you have to have work with the business team to understand their business requirement, because many times what I've seen is when people get into technology, into IoT, they just start thinking about technology. Oh, technically I'll do this, but it has to have business relevance, business sense also, right? So having business fitment at all times in a project, absolutely crucial for IoT. Adherence to established technology standards, should understand what are different technology standards. Governments worldwide, including India, are coming out with IoT, IoT requirements which should be met, because there are a lot of security concerns about IoT. IoT can very quickly get into personal space of a person and pass information about him and others in it. So you have to understand that research in new product technologies, many maintenance systems in maintenance, for example, many of these devices like Alexa and have you heard about Alexa, man? A person who can maintain Alexa system, if something goes wrong with it, there's hardly any way. You have to just throw it away, it seems today, right? But just imagine if it is of, instead of Alexa, there are bigger systems like an air conditioners, like your water coolers, like your household appliances, televisions, your VCRs, your refrigerators. They become IoT enabled. Then people who will be able to maintain those systems will also become crucial. So there will be large organizations working just for maintenance of the system. So there also solution architect who understands this thing becomes similar. And pre-sales is a very important position in many IT companies, as many of you will know. So to be able to do that pre-sales role, you have to understand IoT, understand different components to some depth. That is what IoT solution architect should be able to do. And that's where becomes crucial for him to understand different technologies. So how InstaIV can help you in this, So basically we have developed this training program over last several years, where we kind of, based on our knowledge, based on our different projects that we have done huge number, maybe we have done more than 50 POCs for different organizations. We have trained more than 15-20,000 people, as I told you earlier. So we have got, and we have live implemented systems running today in several companies, including several MNCs. So we have got this 360-degree knowledge about what is required. So we have built that training program around that. So we allow you, and for each and every training module which is there in the program, there is a hands-on practical, because until unless in IoT you do hands-on, and I'm not saying that you have to understand Java, you have to understand protocols also, you have to understand in deep cloud systems also, and ThingWorks also, and all that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you are an inquisitive person, and if you have worked in some technology area for years, for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you can become a solution architect, because you don't need to get deep into, but you have to understand at a high level maybe what each technology can do for you, right? And go as deep as possible for you, and maybe in your area you can go very deep. Okay, so you become expert in something and knowledgeable in other areas to become a solution architect. That's the key role of solution architect. Okay, so we have practical training kits which we give you once you are enrolled for the program. We ship you the practical kits with which you are able to build full IoT system, so that these things get into your head and you remember what you have done. Because typically what happens, somebody does some training and he just forgets about it. But once you do hands-on, trust me, you don't forget about things. So we basically then do sessions for you, like with our technical team, with our experts, and then we give you a certificate also for this. And then we of course help you in placement also. But the whole idea is that there's a huge dearth of people who understand IoT solutions, how to build them, and there's a huge need for them in the industry, which I believe is a typical recession free kind of industry to get into, because next 15-20 years are going to belong to IoT. And we have been hearing this for a long time, but now we can see it happening. So we cover IoT concepts, ecosystem, we cover protocols, we cover cloud platforms, data analytics, data visualization, design, prototype development. You actually develop a prototype in this program and you actually make it work, and our engineers help you do that. So I'm not saying you will be able to do all the things very, very easily. There are some complex things also which are there in this program, and our team helps you do that. We set up sessions with you and make you work on it. So it's a hands-on thing that you do. So let me now go through in some detail about different components which are there in this program fairly quickly, because I want to kind of complete in the next 10 minutes, and then we will have a 10-15 minute question answer session. So we will have this the thing is IoT ecosystem. So very tough to understand what is IoT ecosystem, what are things happening in the industry, what are the different platforms which have come out, what are the different companies doing, alliances, protocols, what's happening in the industry, what is Google, Apple, those companies doing. All that we give you, in the basic concept, which is around a 30 to 40 hours kind of course, where you learn about different things which are happening in IoT ecosystem. It gives you a very good hands-on overview about the entire IoT landscape which is there, and you'll be able to apply IoT land at the end of this first session itself that you do. This is a complete self-learning program which is hosted on our platform, learning platform, and you get access to it. So you log in and you start doing it at your own speed, this program. So this IoT ecosystem program, once you've done, you'll be able to apply it to your domain. You can think about it after that, and you can visualize what all things are possible in IoT once you have done this program. Then we went go into deep in IoT protocols. What are the different protocols? Literally, there are a dozen protocols which you talk about here, giving you idea about what are the strengths of each protocol, what are the weaknesses, which case you should go for which protocol, why is Sigfox important, why is MQTT important, why is GSM important, which status. For example, in a car kind of mechanism, you can't have Wi-Fi because car will be on the road, right? So you need to have a GSM kind of system, or a LoRaWAN kind of system, or a NB-IoT kind of system to use it. Of course, I can't explain them here, but this is something you will learn in the program. Similarly, for a household appliance, typically Wi-Fi is working great, and all these devices like your Alexas and Google speakers and your Samsung refrigerators work on Wi-Fi basically these days, right? So a lot of different protocols which are possible. So getting a good handle on that is very critical. And you actually build a Zigbee wave, a LoRa based, and a GSM based, small device in this program. So you actually get a hands-on feel of how it works, how to send data to cloud. Literally telling you that once you're able to send data to a cloud-based system and see it on your screen and see how it communicates back to the device and all that, it really adds a lot of confidence in anybody who wants to, have a career or have a deep understanding of IoT for his own personal purpose, maybe for his own company he wants to start. I'm proud to say that literally dozens of people who have done our courses have started their own companies quite successfully, after doing this. And today's world, because of this, what is happening today, because of the pandemic and all that, the job situation has become precarious. So having an additional knowledge within an organization also and outside the organization also will always help you. irrespective of which area or domain you are working on. Situation is very precarious worldwide, as you know probably, right? Another thing is about talk about platforms. So we particularly talk about Osmosis and ThingWorks. Osmosis is, our own InstaIV's platform, and ThingWorks is basically a world's largest IoT platform. So we'll be giving you complete training on ThingWorks platform, end to end, including a hardware device which will help you connect to a ThingWorks platform, send data to ThingWorks, see your data on ThingWorks platform, and all that. Just the ThingWorks training outside, if you take, it costs around $2,000 to $3,000. So expensive, and there's huge demand worldwide because ThingWorks is the most successful IoT platform in the world. It has a lot of things, and we go deep into ThingWorks platform. Then what can IoT platform do for you? How it helps a device? How data is collected in the platform? How it is processed? What things are done real time? What things are done, offline? Why so? All these points, and what are the different platform features? Comparison of different platforms. As a solution architect, you should understand which platform you will choose to in your device and why. The cost factors involved, the timing factors involved, the maintenance factors involved, all those things will become very clear to you once you understand about different platforms which are there and the importance of the platform in an IoT ecosystem. Then, of course, analytics, is the brain of everything today. Each and every IoT device or each, you talk about analytics in everything today because that's the brain of all systems, and analytics is going to become part of everything. So you actually do operations on the data that you collect in this program. You analyze the data, you visualize the data, you extract the data, and you do certain things with the data. You get a feel of it basically, and different technologies which are there, which and what technology offers what advantage or disadvantage, which technology to go for in which situation. For example, if you're working in a bank or a very critical data, what kind of you should use system database you should use, whether reliability is more important or consistency is more important. What is the thing? So all those things become clear to you once you have done this course on analytics. And then there is in the same program you have about cloud development. So you deploy your small program that you develop on cloud or Amazon cloud basically, and then you see how it works. So you get a good feel of cloud systems also. As a solution expert, you should know that. Very crucial for you so that you understand what it means. I'm not saying that everybody has to work on cloud and deploy things on cloud, but understanding is crucial. Yeah. And design considerations, how do you consider design? What are different constraints? What it makes or what it takes to test a device, what it takes to build a device, what are the challenges faced? We have faced huge number of challenges, right from people killing our device because it used to expose their cheating, to basically systems failing because of some hardware not being used or Chinese hardware being used and all that. All those things become crucial for you. So design considerations is also very crucial for you to understand. So we have a session on that also. Plus, there are several other sessions which I'm not covering here because of lack of time. But then huge amount of information in this program. So, and then you also build at the end of it. Once you have done the course, you will build a physical device and a physical IoT ecosystem end to end, 360 degrees basically. Okay, and we will help you do that. So you choose a use case which is relevant to you, maybe some idea you have, or maybe something that you want to do. So you build that device, you buy the components, build that device, get a very good hands-on experience. And solution architect is such a role that once you have built something on your own, irrespective of whether you do this course or not, but you can appreciate this point that once you have that knowledge, and because the businesses are so challenged today in terms of what new to do, how to grow, they will need people like you, right, who can understand solution architect, what it takes to build a system. So you actually do a POC, you build a system based on your skill area as well as your knowledge level, as well as what you have gained in this course, as well as help that we give you in building a device. So you might have some idea in your mind that I want to do this. So you can do that here as a POC without us charging anything from you extra. You build this device, you test it out, you deploy it on cloud, and you have a working system which you can showcase to potential investors or potential business partners or your potential clients and build that for. So it will be an industry ready kind of POC that you will build after doing this program on your own. That kind of confidence you will have. Okay. So timeline is basically you decide the timeline, but typically, you say that within 3 months you can complete this course online, and then you can take 1 week to present it, and then solution development is up to you. You can take a 1 week to, you can take 10, 20, 10, 15 weeks also, 6 months also, to kind of complete this course and become enabled in solution architect. And we also help you in placement, by the way. So we have a lot of connects in the industry. Our certificate is also recognized. It's verifiable on our website also. So we kind of help you in that also. And we conduct some mock interviews. We allow you to kind of, present us to the board of InstaIV, so that you kind of, we kind of interview you and all that to help you. So you can connect with us if you want any help, irrespective of whether you want to do the course. You can connect with us for any help that you need in IoT space. We are ready to help you. That's the whole idea that we have. We want to make India basically a powerhouse of IoT. That's the whole concept that we have. So that kind of brings me to the end of 30 minutes roughly of my session. Now what I can do is I can go through the questions which are already have been typed by you. Okay, and then you can keep asking your questions and we can go through that. Okay. So Tejpal Singh is asking, can you list down the protocols used in the IoT solution like MQTT, LoRa, ZigBee, etc.? At what level of IoT solution these are used? So this is basically a very big question, Tejpal. I mean, this is what you learn in the training. But there are huge number of protocols, MQTT, LoRa, ZigBee. Then you have communication channels, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, right? Then you have a lot of low-range communication protocols like your Bluetooth low energy, those kind of protocols. And then CoAP and all that. So we cover all that in this. And you use some of these protocols to build devices. So you learn about those protocols to the level that you can build devices using that in this program. Anirban, I am a C++ Python developer with 14 years of experience and good knowledge on networking, protocol security. I wish to stay in coding. What would be the best option for me now? So best option for you, you already there. I don't know whether we can teach you if you know protocols and other things. You see IoT, the whole thing in IoT is you cannot stick to one area. In order to build any even simplest of IoT system, you need to have understanding of the cloud side, the software side, the Java ecosystem side also. So because you know Python and you have good experience, understanding IoT ecosystem overall and getting into solution architect, actually you are the ideal candidate for IoT. Okay. So languages will be Java. If you want to know which are the good languages, Java, Python, and then for hardware side, typically C, Objective-C and all those languages. C++ is used sometimes, but not that much. Okay, so that's what it is. So we cover all these things, we cover edge computing also. So how to make the device smart. So many of the devices that we build are able to take smart decisions, like based on certain logical situations which are happening at the site. For example, if suppose there is no internet available and a car is being stolen, somebody is trying to break into the car, so the local edge device has to have the intelligence to be able to take a decision there and then that, okay, my lock is being broken, I should lock the engine. Okay, so that kind of decision has to be taken on the edge basically. So our devices are capable of that. Some devices that we have built using Raspberry Pi and other hardware on the node side, we are building a lot of intelligence there. Some image processing also can be built and all that, so that image is recognized and action taken accordingly locally, and then the data is sent to the cloud. So yes, edge computing is also covered in your device that you build. You will be doing some edge computing also. Yes, you will be. So we have a full-fledged sessions on sensor. So we do cover sensors in great detail, actuators also, okay, and how motor is run, stopped, how lights are switched on, switched off from cloud-based system based on certain decisions which are there, okay, based on certain logical requirements which are there in the device. So you see, for example, a water, system. That water system is basically putting water into a plant, let's say. You put IoT device there. Then if too much water is there, how to stop the water from coming in? That decision making, and what sensor to use for that. So we give you ideas. We can't see sensor as I showed in the diagram earlier. Let me go back to the diagram there very quickly. If you see this diagram here, you see the sensors which are there are above this line. So sensors are very domain specific. So we can't cover all domains, of course. Some domains we cover, like logistics, like home automation. So we can tell you some sensors on that: human recognition, temperature, humidity, air pressure, electricity consumption, whatever experience we have in some sensors, we can share with you. But sensor is highly domain specific. If you have some unique idea, you have to figure out the sensor, but we tell you how to figure that out. Okay, in this. So all the kits are provided by us as a part of this course. So Sandeep Sharma is asking, with your training program, which looks very diverse, what all protocols, type of gateway knowledge you cover, how you help integration knowledge of various ERP systems. There are many. So we don't cover all of them for sure. But what we do is, see, there are dozens of ERP. But if you understand SAP, you understand all ERP systems to some level. Physically working in them will require some effort, definitely. Similarly, in IoT, there are more than 600 IoT platforms today in this world, is what I'm telling you. And there are millions of apps. Okay. But then the basic concepts remain the same. All of them do certain things. Maybe the way of doing, the language they are programmed in, the platform they are hosted on are different. But the basic concept is, so we teach you that basically in this. So we teach you two platforms, which cover essentially, one is the world's largest, second is Stevie's own platform. Okay, so we have deep knowledge on our platform. We have all the code and everything for it. So we teach you that. So you cover most of it and you understand platform. Once you understand platform, you can work on any platform, basically. So similarly, gateway. So there are literally hundreds of gateways in the world. But we teach you some gateways. Like we teach you a Raspberry Pi based gateway. We teach you a Arduino based gateway. Okay, so once you know that, you understand the concept of gateway. We are not saying you will become a gateway expert in this, but you will understand the concept, what it takes for an app to take the data from a system and pass it to cloud. You will understand that. So we also cover, Hemachandra is asking, what decide if LoRa may be useful, example, or something else may be useful. Which protocol to choose? Very important question, and we cover that in detail because we compare different protocols. We decide based on certain things how to choose the right protocol. Very crucial decision for success of the IoT project. So we decide, once you are done with this training or this, you will be able to decide that. It's not something that can be discussed in a small call. You have to understand protocols to some extent to be able to decide that. Okay, so Tejpal, maybe I've talked to you, so that's great to know. Yeah, so we provide you kits, like these are not ordinary Raspberry Pi kits. These are kits which are domain specific. For example, there's a kit which is for home automation. So there will be all the sensors to Raspberry Pi, maybe, or Arduino, to a communication protocol based, hardware there, to all the wiring and the power supply and everything required for it. We also give you the cloud side of it, where how to send data to the cloud side, how to make a dashboard there. So all that thing is covered in this. Okay, so we have multiple kits. There is a Zigbee protocol kit. There is a Raspberry Pi based kit. There is a Arduino based kit. There are several kits. I can't commit on each and every one right now, but there are lots of kits. So Anuraj is asking a question about a use case that here. So Anuraj, my session will be, Anuraj. So good example that you are quoting here. Maybe why don't you get in touch with me separately? My email ID is there. Let me open that. Here. My phone number is also there in this, or my email ID is at least there. Here. And Amani is our salesperson, or you can send it to corporate, so all of us will get it. So I can answer this question. It will require some amount of understanding and getting a little bit deeper into it, but definitely I will love to help you in this. So don't worry about it. Post it onto my email address and I'll get back to you on this. Okay. Okay, guys. Anybody else having any questions? Or so Naga is asking. So in platform ThingWorks, we cover in-depth platform. So the trainers that we have are ThingWorks certified trainers. Okay, so we cover in-depth of ThingWorks. So we have done several corporate trainings recently for a very large Pune company. We trained almost 50 people there on ThingWorks because they had to actually work on a project for a US based client on ThingWorks after that. So our programmers, our developer, our trainer is a ThingWorks certified trainer. So we'll get you in deep in ThingWorks basically. ThingWorks is something which is deeply covered. Osmosis is something usage is covered. Because Osmosis, we understand, is our platform. World will not be that much keen on it. It's a small company, right? But we definitely cover ThingWorks in detail in this program. So cost other things, Nagesh, get in touch with my team. I've shared the email address. Okay. And you can mail us or download the brochure. You'll get the cost. Trust me, the cheapest in the world, right? And we definitely look at you and your experience and then decide, I mean, with respect to the relevant areas for you, and we explain them to you. So security is a very important, Chandra, and we have a session on security also in design considerations on this. So there are several ways, like protocols have their own security. IoT, there are several links in the chain. There is a link from, first there is a hardware within the node or the IoT device, right, which can fail and then which can be hacked into. Then the node needs to communicate using typically wireless protocol to a gateway kind of device, a mobile phone or a gateway, right? And then that gateway communicates to a cloud-based system. And then cloud-based system stores the data in a big database, reverts back. So there are so many hops happening. So security can fail anywhere, and security, system is be as secured as the cheap as the weakest link in the chain, right? So you can see the, my email address here. Can't you see on my screen right now, Anuraj? I can type it here also. I can type it here. Okay, it's PYUSH. There is no I. PYUSH. Okay, so you can get in touch with me. So um, you can see my email on the screen right now. Hopefully, I hope you are able to see my screen. And so security is addressed in this protocol, and you say how to make the protocols more secure, how to make your device more secure. We have faced all these issues because people have hacked into our system, people have physically destroyed our device, people have removed SIM cards from our device. So how to construct a device in a way that people cannot hack into it, how to make the system secure, hardware secure, so that how not to expose your password. Recently, even not recently, I mean 2 years back, our cloud-based platform was hacked into, and somebody kind of logged it. So how did we come out of it? All those knowledge we can share with you through this program. Okay, it's a part of this program also. Okay. Okay, then that kind of brings me to the end of this session. Anybody having any questions, please do not hesitate to ask now. Last chance. Anything which might be in your mind, or else I'll call it a day. And because I intend to do these sessions more often. So I'll be doing my next session on industrial IoT, hopefully within the next 10 days. Okay, so we'll do one after the other. And we have our partners, one of our partners, Suma Gurraj, based out of Bangalore, is also attending this session. So maybe she can also be a part of some of our sessions. And we have a lot of partners all over India and all over globe actually. So, we have a big ecosystem with which we can support you in any way that you need and help you in any sense of the word. So thanks for joining, guys, and see you in the next session, hopefully. Hope I've added some value to your whatever knowledge you have, or whatever little knowledge I have. I've tried to share something with you. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye. Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Anuraj. Thanks, Rajiv. Thanks, Teja.